3. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the Hunyah Show. Today on the Hunyah Show, our guest is from Malaysia talking about an all-rounder giving great advice on different topics. Today on the Hunyah Show, our guest is Naweed Harooni from Malaysia, originally from Pakistan. Naweed is a professional electronics engineer by training, worked in PTV Corporation in the 70s, and worked on the production and transmission of TV programs. Besides being an engineer, he's a creative photographer, has long experience working in human rights, particularly on marginalized communities, a feminist and a strong supporter of women's rights. Has been a freelance journalist in Lahore, interested in reading, keenly interested in select music, and has his own interest in radio station, interested in astrology, numerology, writes poetry and short stories, loves to travel and create blogs of his exploration, and much more. Welcome, Naweed Harooni.
Thank you very much, Hunyah.
And it's a pleasure to have you. You're talking all the way from Malaysia. That's like a big thing for me.
Yes, it's a pleasure for me also to be on your show.
Yeah, and I have a lot of questions for you because I know you're very experienced in many different areas. So let's begin.
Well, you're most welcome. I'm just an ordinary bloke with a few interests anyway.
Don't worry, that's totally fine with me. Naweed,
right.
Uncle, I know that you have your own radio station. You enjoy listening to music as well. What is the name of your radio station? And how can, from a broadcaster's perspective, what is the best part of having your own radio station? Because you are pretty much a broadcaster in this way. And as a Hunyah Show, it's pretty much the same thing. And as for someone who's starting new in this, what advice would you give?
All right, it's basically an internet radio, which I always wanted to have my own. So the name is Melody Radio, and it's because it's basically back-to-back music, and there's no announcement or discussions or talk or anything like that, but basically focus on music. Because I was always interested in listening to music right from my childhood and had a lot of collection while, listening to various genres of music. So the idea was how to share my collection and my choice of songs and music with my friends and others. So it is basically that idea which I finally achieved a couple of months ago. And
I'm assuming that your radio station must be on Spotify. By the sound of it, Spotify.
Not yet.
All these.
Not yet, but I have a few listeners, some dedicated listeners, who share the same taste of music as mine, and they are listening regularly and they enjoy the choice of the music I choose. Because for me, basically, it's a melody, which inspires me. It's not the wordings. So basically, it's a melody, the composition of the music. So that makes me, gives me freedom to choose from any genre of music I can listen.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so it can be an Indian.
How does music inspire you?
Music inspires me a lot because I believe that melody is divine and it touches your soul. So when you're focused on melody, then you don't care about the words or the language, it crosses that barriers, it's above that. So that means that I am basically, inspired, or in a way, the music interests me more than the poetry.
Oh, so, okay, I see.
Yeah, so that
it's all about the instruments, I'm assuming.
The composition. So the composition or the melody, which we call the sur, if it is surila, if it is melodious, it will attract me. So that means I get the freedom to choose from any language, any genre. So I can like the song from an Indian, an old filmy song, to a classical, to a jazz, to opera. So all, kind of music I am able to enjoy. So that's exactly what my radio transmits. All kinds of music. So I have people from all over the world with various choices, with different options.
That's interesting.
Different choice of music. Some people like old music, so they can also listen to my radio.
On to my next question. I know that you enjoy creative photography, poetry writing, and you do short stories as well as creating blogs and videos on your YouTube channel. How all of these activities connect and fit into the industry, and how do you see yourself multitasking?
Okay, if you see basically creative writing or poetry writing or photography or creating videos. Basically, they're all creative expressions using different mediums. So whatever I do, whether it's poetry or writing or photography or vlogging or making videos, it's basically I'm sharing my creative effort with others and in different forms.
And they
And
all go towards the creative and arts and all of these.
yeah,
At the
basically
same
it's
time,
all
it goes to the technical industry as well, right? Because of the editing.
yeah, I enjoy because I was working in television and was exposed to the video creation, the video recordings, and all that process. I learned over there. So that gives me, quite, that experience helped me to create my own videos now that, we have all the state-of-the-art technology.
True,
So it
because
becomes,
you can get software from anywhere in this case.
yes, because last time it was very difficult in those days when I was working in television production. The producing a play or a program was quite cumbersome because you didn't have all those gadgets which are available now. Computers were not there and all these digital kind of
And now
softwares were there.
we have more access to different kind of
Yes,
software
yes.
editing.
So
Like as a
exactly.
blogger and YouTuber myself, like I'm using like 3-4 different types of softwares while I'm doing my
Yeah,
videos.
that's right.
And the
Yeah,
amount of
that's right.
recording that goes in, that is another thing itself that it takes up.
That's right. So this is really a privilege to have all these technologies now. And so that helped me to create my own videos and vlogs and all that.
That's going to my next question. Naweed uncle, would you like to let the viewers know like where they can find your radio station? Like
Yes,
I know
mean,
you will share that at the end, but do you just want to point out that where, like, what is the name
yeah,
of it?
sure. I will share the URLs and the pages of my blog as well as the YouTube channel, which is EnAyEch. The name is EnAyEch, and by now I have 229 subscribers already. I mean, which is really interesting because my target was not to get more and more subscribers, but to create and share with the world. So they come naturally.
That's good. If you see more subscribers, you know you're doing good. With
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
I've only reached 83 right now, but it's only been a year, so I'm planning to do at least get it around 200 by the end of the year, if I can.
Yeah, that's
So
right. That's
I'll
right.
see how it goes. There's like you can't tell when people are going to subscribe to you. So
Yeah.
Naveed uncle, I know that you have non-profit organization experience in both Pakistan and Malaysia. How are non-profit organizations different in Malaysia as compared to Pakistan or Canada? Because it's about infrastructure, it's about the bylaws. How do you see that?
How should I say it? Basically, if we come to the comparison, there are 2-3 points. Like in Pakistan, the we have to work with marginalized communities or people who are at the poverty line or those who need support and help. So when we see the ratio of the people below poverty line over there and the people in Malaysia below poverty line and in Canada below poverty line. So when you're working with those communities, the funders are donors because NGOs, they run on donations and funding. So when you
I agree.
see,
That's one thing I've noticed in
yeah,
Canada too, because I actually
right,
work in a couple of nonprofit organizations myself. So I've
right,
noticed that's all about funding. It's about equity. It's about all of these things.
exactly,
Like
exactly.
as someone
So,
who works in there, and then
so
most organizations have similar goals at the same time too.
right. So, like working in Pakistan, the funders like to support financially because there's a lot of work to do over there. And hence they like to fund those initiatives which are supportive for the communities over there or for the awareness raising programs because of the low literacy rate in those countries, which are developing countries. The funders and donors like to support those NGOs who are working in those countries. Comparing to Malaysia, it's comparatively a society where people are more affluent and people are less below poverty line. So there are
Okay,
less NGOs
that's
here.
really interesting. And moving
They're
on to
less.
my next question is Naveed uncle,
Wait,
I
wait,
know.
wait, wait,
Okay,
wait.
hold
Let me
on.
let me finish this.
Okay.
Coming to Canada, talking about Canada in comparison, Canada is a developed country, and there may be, NGOs working on certain issues over there, but they are basically considered as the donor countries, those who are funding the NGOs in the third world countries or the developing countries. So this is the
Oh,
main
okay.
difference.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
Often
even
there's a lot of international organizations who do this, and there's like a whole lot that goes on in there.
yeah, even in Malaysia, where I'm working with, one organization here, we're helping a marginalized community, and we have one of our program which is funded by CEDA, which is a Canadian donor agency. So you can see the comparison from the funder point of view, I would say. And there are other aspects as well, like freedom of expression, why NGOs have to work more in certain country and not in other countries, and human rights violations as well.
Now it's
So
time to change the mood into my next question. Naweed uncle, I know you're interested in astrology and numerology. I have a question. How does astrology and numerology play a part in daily life?
Okay, as far as astrology is concerned, basically, I would say that it does not come under exact sciences like physics, chemistry, or mathematics. But it's basically the statistics based analytical data, which had been collected over the years by the statistics of various people born under certain signs, under certain dates, and those signs,
So
the
it's
sun
like it
signs,
correlates, right?
So yeah, so based on those statistical data of those people born under those, times and dates and periods, they have come out with certain traits and certain qualities of that personality. So by knowing
Because
those,
personally for
yeah,
myself, like
by
I've
knowing
had
those,
experience with
yeah,
astrology, numerology. Like I was first time I read it, I was 13, and I had read in a magazine. I was reading about Leo because I am a Leo and I know another Leo. So I read that my horoscope matches a Leo. At that time, I was a kid. I didn't understand that, and I got angry. But then when I was like 15, or this was in 2005. When I was in 2008 and 2009, when I was around 16, 15 or 16. So I kind of, it's like a long story. It's with one of my cousins. His birthday is on August 1st. Mine is on August 6th. So the thing is, it's like, so I read that again. It came up in another magazine that no, your love match is Leo. And I didn't understand. It's a really long story. So by the time I got to college, I understood that. So for me, it's like, that's the one thing where I felt like numerology and astrology had a little bit role.
right.
I understood that in college.
So coming back
what
to
do you say to someone like that? Like when you read into a newspaper or a magazine that about your love match or about what's going to happen?
Exactly. So based on that statistical data, you and knowing about the traits of a personality, like you are a Leo, and under the sun sign of Leo, there are certain traits which you have. It helps you in your daily life when you come across those people and you already have, a kind of a predetermined information about the personality. Like if you're working in an organization and you know about your boss, if he's a Leo or a Scorpion or a Sagittarius, so you know how to handle the situations. What are the traits? What are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? So it does
with
help.
me, I know, like I always read that the best friend of Leo is always Scorpio, and with me, I've actually met a lot of Scorpios that I know by chance. Some like girls that I've been friends with, and I'm still in touch with them even now.
I know.
That's what I've seen.
Do you want me to tell you some traits of the Leo, because you're trying
I'd be
to
happy
tell
to. I think
about
viewers would
yourself?
like to know there some of the traits for different signs.
Okay, because since you're there and you're the closest person I can talk about. So Leos, the traits the Leos have, generally speaking, but they can vary. That's why I said
I know,
the
like
beginning.
anger is one of them,
In the
and
beginning,
determination is
that
one of them.
it's not exact science, so they can vary. But generally speaking, Leos are natural leaders. They are dominant. They like to dominate. They are very egoistic. They are advisors, good advisors, and they like to discipline, and they like to control other people. They're big-hearted.
I'm not controlling, but I do understand.
Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. I mean, we're not discussing it. They like to discipline, and they're big-hearted. They like pomp and show. They seek attention. and compassionate, generous, and like to help others. My dad was also a Leo, so I know Leos very well and very closely. Anyway,
I know what you mean then,
all
because
right.
it's
So
like
okay, so
like
talking
with my
about
signs, it's
numerology,
like we're like Leo, Libra, and Aquarius, and it's like some
yeah,
of the
yeah.
things we often like we like very few times we have misunderstanding, but it's like it's like the one in the circle. It's like then it's like
Yeah,
all three of us
it gives you a
together.
general idea. So talking about numerology, that is, basically numerology is known as mystical study of meaning of numbers. And that numbers is basically is based on the time and date of your birth. So it boils down to a single number, and that single number has certain traits.
It plays a role. I see
Yeah,
what you
it has certain meaning or certain traits in that knowledge, which is called numerology. And you can find out what is your number and what is auspicious for you, what is good for you, what is not good for you, and also your personality traits, knowing through the number, that number, you get from your date of birth. So that's how these things are. And always interested in these kind of, mystical sciences.
I
And
see.
they do really help,
And
definitely
Naveed
help.
uncle, what advice would you give to someone who would like to go into any of these fields?
I would say follow your heart, but don't leave your brain behind.
I see. That's one thing what I've learned also in many other things I've done, that it also depends on how much you use your brain in there. Like some things,
Yeah.
even in nonprofit organizations, even things for YouTube itself, like they require a lot of thinking and a lot of
Yes.
work.
What
So
I'm saying
my
is,
last,
that you should you should do follow your heart, but don't just blindly follow your heart. You keep your brain intact with you,
I see.
also.
My next question is, would you like to share your social media handles? And I know you said that you
Yeah.
were going to share the website. So would you like to share? You are currently host.
Should I share my screen or
Yes.
how?
Yes.
Okay,
Share screen.
I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that. Where is share screen? Okay. Here's the page of my radio station. The link can be given in the information you can provide, and
Okay.
this is how it looks like. Melody
Mm-hmm.
Radio page. The address is melodyradio.radio12345.com, and then this is my Facebook page, which is EnAyEch, and also wait.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, just let me find out.
Okay, okay. Feel free to share your screen again.
Yeah, and this, wait.
It should
This
be
is
there.
yeah, almost.
Okay, okay, it just takes a while. It happens with internet connection sometimes, and sometimes with the computer.
And that's a YouTube channel.
Okay,
The name is
okay.
EnAyEch. Okay.
Wait, okay. Oh, it says
And
wait.
wait. One more.
Wait, do you want me to? Okay, it says
This is a
disable
blog.
speech here. I don't know how.
This is a
Okay,
blog of my poetry. That
okay, hold on.
page
Just
is.
share your screen again. Just okay, just because the
Oh,
viewers have to
yeah,
see it.
yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the poetry blog page, at wordpress.com. It's Naweed poetry at .wordpress.com. So this is
Naveed
at,
uncle, I think you just have to share the screen again.
okay.
Or do you just want to
This,
say it like this way? That's also good for the viewers too. I think that's easier.
yeah, this is the YouTube channel page,
Okay.
and this is the radio page, Melody radio page.
Okay. I think you could just like just say the names of the YouTube channel and all these names, and viewers will find you.
Okay. So are
We
you
know
sharing?
EnAyEch is the Facebook page. We know EnAyEch is the YouTube channel, if
Yeah,
I'm correct.
EnAyEch.
And
EnAyEch.
you also run Melody Radio.
Right.
I
Okay.
think that's where viewers can find you. And everyone, be sure to check out Naweed Harooni's YouTube channel, blog, and all the poetry, and he's also a short stories author, and also the radio station, and all of these amazing Facebook pages and all the social media handles. Be sure to subscribe to Hunyah Travels, and also be sure to tune in for the next episode of the Hunyah Show, and be sure to follow Naweed Harooni. So thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Naweed uncle, for coming on my show. Be sure to tune into the next episode soon.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. Bye-bye.